Good morning. I'm Eric Spielman in for Frank Buckley. Synagogues and other places of worship in the U.S. are on heightened alert following an attack at a Jewish temple yesterday. How local law enforcement is responding to those security concerns.
And good morning, I'm Annie Rose Ramos. Breaking news out of the Middle East. We have an updated death toll on a number of U.S. service members who were killed in a plane crash while refueling in Iraq yesterday. We have an update on those numbers and also an update from U.S. officials. We'll have more on what happened coming up.
Good Friday morning. I'm Omar Lewis. Much of Southern California is now under a heat advisory, and forecasters say the heat hasn't even reached its peak yet. We are live here in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl, where folks are knocking out those outdoor activities early. All the details coming up next.
Good morning, I'm Jessica Holmes. A popular dating app is now hosting meetups for singles. How you can get an invite.
Hey there, everybody. Good morning. I'm Melvin Robert. Parents and guardians, prepare yourselves. K-pop Demon Hunters is getting a sequel. We've got the details for you in just a bit. Plus, reminders of him. Rudy Pankow is here to tell us about that in just a little bit.
Reach at Santa Monica Beach, where the sun is shining and the heat is on for another day. A heat wave very much now underway. Along the coast, we'll see a high of 78, 91 downtown LA, 94 in the San Fernando Valley. Orange County, we're tracking 90, 92 in the Inland Empire, in the high desert, 85 degrees. We'll have the latest on a heat advisory now in effect coming up. For now, though, let's check in with Ginger in the traffic center.
Yeah, we're talking about even Santa Monica might be on the warm side, but definitely real crowded, right? Now, if your plans take you onto the 101 freeway, we know that that northbound side can be a little bit on the challenging side. So if your plans take you right here, 101 North, right at about Barham Boulevard, the crash that's still sitting in lanes. The thing is, the car lost control, overturned. Actually, a lot of the activities now to the right shoulder, and we may start to see some delays into the Cuenca Pass. Looking at about the 5 and the 14 freeways where things are great. Sometimes it's like heavy along the 14 through Acton and Palmdale, but this morning I feel like the drive is still fairly good. You can see how the conditions are nice here, and a tiny slowdown as you move slightly farther to the south in towards areas of Sunland, San Fernando, Sun Valley, Sylmar, so just be prepared for that tiny slowdown. Yes. All right, send it back to you, Eric.
Ginger, thank you. Now to the latest on the war with Iran. U.S. Central Command now says 6 American service members were killed when a refueling aircraft went down in Iraq. They say the loss of that aircraft was not due to enemy fire. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos has the new developments from the newsroom now. Good morning.
Hi, Eric. Good morning. Yeah, new in this past hour, the death toll rising in that incident you mentioned. The military confirming all 6 crew members were killed after their plane went down over Iraq yesterday, bringing the number to 13 troops who have died so far in this Iran war. The U.S. Central Command coming out with this statement just moments ago, saying all 6 crew members on board a refueling aircraft are now confirmed dead. It went down yesterday afternoon during a refueling exercise.
The incident occurred over friendly territory in western Iraq while the crew was on a combat mission, and again was not the result, as CENTCOM has said, was not the result of hostile or friendly fire. Our service members make an incredible sacrifice to go forward and do the things that the nation asks of them. It's a reminder of the true cost of the dedication and commitment of the Joint Force.
All right, we want to pull up some images of the same type of plane that went down. These images are not from yesterday's crash, but from a few months ago. But it's so you can get an idea of the type of aircraft we're talking about here. It's called a KC-135 Strato tanker. The Pentagon telling us yesterday's crash happening while it was doing what you see is happening there, doing a refueling exercise. Central Command telling us the incident involved 2 aircrafts. 1 aircraft went down while the other landed safely. And we want to bring you new images we have into our newsroom of that other plane involved that did land safely in Israel. Israeli media publishing these photos where you can see the other jet involved, which was also a KC-135. It was damaged during the mid-air incident. Its tail fin now missing.
War is hell. War is chaos. And as we saw yesterday with the tragic crash of our KC-135 tanker, bad things can happen. American heroes, all of them,
And new this morning, we're now learning the USS Gerald Ford experienced a fire yesterday that originated in the ship's main laundry spaces. The cause of the fire, not combat related. These are images of the aircraft carrier previously taken. It remains fully operational, according to the military. However, 2 sailors were injured and are receiving medical care for non-life-threatening injuries. And moments ago, the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, saying the United States is, quote, decimating the Iranian regime's military in a way the world has never seen before, saying today will bring the most intense bombing campaign we've ever seen in this war thus far. General Kane echoing those remarks. Listen.
Today will be our heaviest day of kinetic fires across the operating area. CENTCOM continues to attack ballistic missile and drone capabilities so that they are no longer a threat to U.S. forces, our bases, or our partners.
And we also learned from that same press conference that happened earlier this morning, the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, saying Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, has been, quote, wounded and likely disfigured in one of the earlier attacks. Guys, back to you.
Annie Rose, thank you. Nearly a month into the partial government shutdown, the Senate failed again to advance a measure to fund the Department of Homeland Security. With no action by Congress, employees with the TSA, FEMA, and the U.S. Coast Guard are working without pay. Senate Democrats are demanding the DHS change its immigration enforcement policies. TSA agents have been calling out of work in higher numbers, leading to longer security lines at airports across the country.
All that means that people traveling for spring break are going to face longer wait times to be screened by security, and they're going to face expensive airline tickets. With the war with Iran sending oil prices skyrocketing, airlines are paying more to fuel up. As a result, airfare has doubled on some flights, especially for people seeking to fly cross-country or overseas. For United Airlines and Delta Airlines, prices on domestic flights booked in advance have increased anywhere from 15% to 57%. Prices for one-way flights booked more than 3 weeks in advance have doubled from the prior week.
A second round of unusually hot temperatures is in store for Southern California today. Heat advisories remain in place throughout the day. KTLA's Omar Lewis in Pasadena, where the heat is on. Although maybe, I don't know, at 8 a.m., does it still feel okay out there, Omar? Good morning.
Not too bad. Good morning. Not too bad right now, but you can tell that it's going to be one of those days where the heat will be on in just a matter of hours. Things not too bad right now, but, you know, as you mentioned, spring is still officially a week away. Southern California not quite getting that memo. Cue the music here. Beautiful morning out here in Pasadena. As you can see here, folks are trying to knock out those outdoor activities early today, which is smart because this is one of the areas expected to be among the hottest in our region. Officials warning that today could be the hottest day of the week, but the worst may still be ahead. The National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory for the bulk of the Southland in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. Temperatures across the LA region are forecast to climb into the mid-80s to mid-90s, and that's not the end of it. Before winter officially ends next week, we will see an even stronger high-pressure system building for next week, with some areas potentially hitting triple digits Tuesday through Thursday. The National Weather Service urging everyone to hydrate, stay out of the sun for extended periods of time, check on your neighbors and relatives, and stay alert for signs of heat stroke and heat exhaustion. For people already out and about this morning, the early risers were putting that advice into practice. Take a listen.
It's kind of tricky. It's a little up and down. You never know what you're going to get, right? Like, it's cold one day, then the next day it's hot. So, yeah, the heat is something, bro, because when it gets hot, it gets really, really hot out here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bad girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly like a bad girlfriend, bro. You never know what you're going to get.
I am staying indoors all day. I work from home, so it's pretty easy to just stay inside, except for walking this one here.
Is anyone you're checking on during this heat?
Yes, my dad. But he also stays indoors all day, so I'm not too worried about it.
Officials are pointing to next week as a serious concern. The Weather Service warning of an extraordinarily strong high-pressure system that could push some inland areas into the triple digits, with excessive heat warnings possible as early as Tuesday. If you do need to cool off, the county has cooling centers now open.
Watch out for children, older adults, or any neighbors who live alone and might not have air conditioning. Also, please don't leave any children or pets in closed cars. And finally, if you're unable to stay cool at home, utilize county resources. We have cooling centers available.
And back out here live, the moral of the story is Southern California isn't just flirting with summer. We're basically skipping spring altogether. The one bit of relief, forecasters say tomorrow should bring a slight drop of 5 to 10 degrees in some communities, but don't put that fan away just yet. We will see more heat again next week. So, all right, we did the heat is on last hour. Now I'm feeling